This segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System, your partner in good health.
I'm Phyllis Peoples, President and CEO of Terrebonne General Health System. I know all of you know who I am, but again, for our wonderful guests, just to let you know, we're so excited that you're here. Thank you so much for taking the opportunity for us to win another wonderful award. Our partnership with CIS is so valued. Our community has the benefit, along with multiple places in the region. Terrebonne General is the first and foremost of where you can get cardiovascular care. 2026, we're starting out with this wonderful achievement. It's a prestigious national achievement that ranks Terrebonne General and CIS as superior in cardiovascular care. Just 8 months ago, many of you probably were here, Terrebonne General and CIS were recognized with our Healthgrades Coronary Intervention Excellence Award, and today, now we're celebrating again, being the only hospital to receive in the state to achieve Healthgrades America's 100 Best for Coronary Intervention with our longstanding partners. This achievement reflects Terrebonne General and CIS's commitment to providing the highest quality heart care, not only in our region, but throughout the state. Here to tell us about this esteemed award is Nicole Patzer, who's going to talk a little bit about that. We'll also have Ryan come up and Dr. Walker and then myself to be so proud of all the wonderful things that we've done. Before I go ahead and turn it over, again, I want to make sure that we thank all the staff. I see Jacques and all the Cath Lab team, some of our staff, all of the CIS individuals who are here with us today, and Terrebonne Generals. It takes a village. If anybody thinks that we can do it just with one entity or a different one, we don't. And we all have talked. We all take care of the patient from the start of their admission till they are leave, and then they're in the community. And anybody who's from this area recognizes it doesn't end when they're discharged. We're going to see them at the store. We're going to see them everywhere you go, and everyone is going to talk about how their care was and who took care of them and who made them better. And the same name always comes up. Terrebonne General and CIS. So I'm very proud of this award, and I'll go ahead and turn it over. Thank you.
I am so excited to be here today on behalf of Healthgrades, here to celebrate and recognize all the clinical excellence, as well as a milestone, as this is the first year Terrebonne General Health System has achieved America's 100 Best Hospitals for Coronary Intervention for 2026 by Healthgrades. Let me back up, though. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with Healthgrades, Healthgrades is a resource to ensure that consumers can make more informed decisions about where to seek their care. And we do so by rating and analyzing around 4,500 hospitals nationwide, short-term acute care facilities, based on what matters most to patients, and that's actual clinical outcomes. So this is no beauty contest. You don't need to thank me. We're thanking you today for doing amazing work and saving lives. In a complex and critical field such as cardiac, as you know, every decision, every minute, and every piece of or point of communication matters. My family and friends have not been so lucky in the last couple of months, as I have lost my cousin. My friend lost her cousin, and my other friend just lost her dad due to heart attack. And as you know, every minute matters, and you just have to go to the nearest medical facility and hope, and it could be, the difference between life and death. And so it is so critically important to have a hospital like Terrebonne within your neighborhood, as again, it could be the difference between life and death. And we know that through Healthgrades, through analyzing hospitals across the country, we know that not every hospital is treated the same. We found in the 2026 study that patients treated at a hospital achieving America's 100 Best for Coronary Intervention had a 47.7% lower risk of dying in the hospital than if they were treated at a hospital that didn't receive the recognition. A 47.7%, which, as my friends and I aren't as lucky as that. And so we know that, again, not every hospital is treated differently. And so this award is really a dedication to your unwavering commitment to the patient and saving lives. being a part of this statistic and earning these achievements, such as the Coronary Intervention Excellence Award and 5 stars in America's Best, is something you should all be deeply proud of. Together, you all make more than just a hospital. You make a beacon of hope, of healing, of excellence for cardiac care in general. I look forward to seeing you and watching you all continue this journey for saving and improving the lives within your community. So thank you so much for your commitment. Amazing work. I would love to present the award to Phyllis here and Dr. Walker. It's a two-hander, so. Congratulations.
You gotta hold the other
Yes.
side.
There we are. I want to tell you how happy I am to see Terrebonne General and CIS get this award. It represents something that's been a lifetime of work and a dream. I grew up here. I trained away, and when I left Boston at the end of my training, I'd hoped to create a great program. And the first thing that we did was we wrote a mission statement which sits in every one of our rooms. It's for everyone to see. That mission statement stated that we wanted to do many things. We pledged ourselves to technological superiority. This was written in 1982, even before I came. We did not have a cath lab. We did not have people trained in cardiac work. We didn't have people bringing us new things. But it was a dream of ours. It was one that we sought. And of course, now we're first-line researchers for almost every new tool. In fact, the first stent placed in a heart attack patient during an active heart attack anywhere, not anywhere in Louisiana, not anywhere in the United States, anywhere, was placed in Houma, Louisiana at Terrebonne General. That was something that it was placed off-label, but approved by the FDA when we did it. But because it was off-label, it was not approached. But what chance would one have given in 1983 that we would have been that group? Secondly, we pledged ourselves to research. Why that? Research makes you better. And it is through research that we get new tools, that we can treat patients more effectively. Across America, people are trying to make doctors not really work hand in hand with companies. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. It takes every element of the healthcare system, those who make the devices, those who use the devices, those who fine-tune them, if we're going to improve people. Third element, education. Education of ourselves, which at first we did, but education of others. And towards that goal, what have we done? Well, professorships at Tulane and LSU. I didn't say assistant professors, professorships. Editors of journals. Other things to give us the acclaim that we were working for. Not so much our acclaim, but to substantiate that this was a serious endeavor. So what else? Things that we could do immediately. Compassion. Treating people as if they were our moms or our dads. Now, you know, sometimes we don't have every tool. Sometimes things are beyond our ability to treat. But we can always reach down and find compassion, something all too lost in medicine today. And then finally, communication. You know, medicine is very complex, and it's very difficult to sometimes understand. And so we pledged ourselves to be able to communicate this better. But there's one other thing, not listed, but I think unspoken, and that is accessibility. You know, heart attacks don't come 9 to 5. They come whenever they happen. And we have to get there. Every second, once a heart attack starts, every second wasted is heart muscle dying and an increased risk of death. I hope one day you have the opportunity to see what happens with this cath lab. They're assembled within minutes, even in the midst of the night. They're there for those patients things rush in, and it's not an hour preparing the lab, it's a few minutes. It's everyone in there pitching in. It's not a doctor alone that won this. It's not a hospital alone. It's unbelievable people that we have, and they have to be there. And by the way, this pertains to other things too, things we don't speak about in cardiovascular medicine. If someone comes in with a leg that's acutely ischemic, if we don't fix it, not only do they lose their legs, a whole lot of those patients go on to lose their lives at that same spot. Or how about the pulmonary embolus patient? Who patient comes in unable to breathe, hypotensive, fast heart rate, high rate of mortality. What has happened in today's world is amazing. We can go in and suck out that clot, and a patient who couldn't breathe and whose oxygenation was inadequate, within a few minutes is pinked up and able to to be joking with people. There's been a technological revolution like few that we could imagine, and we've been lucky enough to participate in that. And I think it's prepared us well for the future that we face. Right now, there's a huge shortage of cardiologists, and particularly interventional cardiologists throughout the United States, and it's only getting worse. We're retiring 4 more cardiologists than are being trained. Not more, 4 more. 4 more. That's a crisis. And most places cannot recruit doctors. I ask you to look around and see what's happened in just Houma, Louisiana, not throughout all of CIS, but just Houma, Louisiana. You've gotten not just extra new people, but people who are world class anywhere they would be. Kanwar Singh, getting ready to do his 1000th ablation procedure. Shane trained in Alabama, certainly one of the great programs, doing beautiful structural work. How about Matt Finn? Matt was chief resident at Hopkins, chief fellow at Columbia. Just a wonderful guy. He's in Houma, Louisiana. And most recently, and one I might happen to be particularly proud of, his last name is Walker, but McCall Walker, my nephew, and he's not just my nephew, but he's the son of my brother, who had so encouraged me to go into medicine and made me have the love of caring for patients. So, we do have challenges now. Sometimes we face the challenges of getting an approval from insurance. Sometimes they go very rogue. Sometimes there's a lot of paperwork involved in medicine. But I can honestly say at 74 and after 43 years, that's how long it's been, I've never once thought of quitting. I'm asked all the time if I'm ready to retire. It's never entered my mind because I can't think of what I would want to do more. But I really do appreciate the fact that you looked at this. And really, my only question is what took so long? But that's a different story, because I think we have a phenomenal group. Our group is really an exceptional group of doctors, an exceptional group of nurses and cath lab people, and we've all worked as a team. We've been able to put egos at the door, put them aside, come here and work towards patients' good. And we're going to keep doing that, at least as long as I breathe. And I think that's very important. Maybe one day we'll change our mission statement, but it's held us in pretty good stead. We became, by volume of work, the biggest private cardiology practice in America. That's a big thing. Starting from here, now we have more locations than just here. But again, that same concept is there. And by the way, in each of those other programs, we're getting great young talent when people can't find it. So I think the future's bright. I look forward to, I hope I live another 100 years so that I can really keep doing what I do. But I think that we can make a difference. We will make a difference. And I look forward to being part of that. I thank you very much for the recognition that you've given. I've many times at this time of year gone up as an advisor to Medtronic and Boston Scientific and others to Minnesota, and it's usually just a little bit colder at this time, maybe quite a bit colder. But thank you so very much for this. We're honored to have it. We really appreciate what you've done.
Dr. Walker's mission, as he stated, to bring the patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available. To do that and to really create that doesn't just come with one particular entity. It's not just CIS. It's been a fantastic partnership, specifically here in the Bayou region with Terrebonne General Health System. What Phyllis, Diane, Teresita, and so many more have committed with believing in the innovation and the technological superiority, giving our physicians access to the technology in order to be able to achieve the goals and why we're here today getting this award and recognition from Healthgrades. That's a major commitment, and it was a belief, but it has worked out for the better of all of mankind here in the Bayou Parish. Another important point to highlight is the amazing team that has been created. Jacques Blanchard and his entire team is unbelievable. They have created one of the best cath lab programs, not just here in Louisiana, but truly across the U.S. I get to travel to a lot of different locations, and I will tell you that what Jacques does is by far well ahead of what anybody else is doing, because he invests the time and the interest in order to learn more about what is needed in order to kind of meet those innovations, research, technology, and also ensure that the physicians are able to maximize their abilities. Our physicians, I mean, as Dr. Walker mentioned, some of the new, but we also have Dr. Abin, Dr. Fail, Dr. Vinod Nair, Dr. Pradeep Nair, and so many more that have come here, and they have dedicated so many hours, countless hours, to the community to ensure that they are receiving excellence in care. And it would be really shamefully if I didn't further acknowledge Dr. Walker. Dr. Walker, as he just said, he's been doing this for 43 years, and will he ever stop? I hope not, because I will tell you, it's not only what he does inside of the lab and inside of the clinic, but it's the constant push for excellence. That mission statement says to provide our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available. In that mission statement, there is an endless focus point that has to always continue, because to achieve that goal, it's almost at a point where you always have to figure out the next thing. And what he does is hold us accountable, including myself and the entire team I have, to work on achieving that each and every day. As a philosophy I say is, we were good yesterday, but we're going to try to be better today and even better tomorrow. And that's what we tell all of our team, because that's what we have to focus on. The next part, and probably one of the pieces that's most important as well, is to all of the patients that are watching this today. Thank you. Because when you select CIS and Terrebonne General as your location to receive your care, that's a privilege. We understand and we take in that privilege very serious. Because of the fact you've chose us, we are going to give you 1,000% every time we can for delivering the highest quality cardiovascular care. Whether it's cardiac, peripheral, valvular, whatever is needed, we are going to do whatever it takes to succeed. Sometimes we have to come and think outside the box a little bit, but we are always able to come up with a plan and work towards giving you that longevity, to answer prayers, to give hope, and to give people the ability to enjoy time with their family while they're here. So with that said, the last thing is a thank you for the recognition. You know, this recognition, what does it mean? It really positions the two programs, and you really think about it, as one of the top 5 in coronary intervention care in the entire U.S. It's so much more than just an award. When you look at it as a top 5% of coronary care in the U.S., that is one of the biggest recognitions that you can possibly find. So with that, again, it's a partnership, it's an incredible relationship that we have, and to the entire South Louisiana as excuse me, I got a cold too, to the entire South Louisiana community, I want to make sure that you know that our goal is to continue to live out the mission that Dr. Walker set for us 43 years ago, and we're just getting started. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you, Dr. Walker. I think what Ryan misunderstood is that was patients calling. He was so motivational between Dr. Walker and Ryan on TV. They were already reaching out for appointments. Not to belabor the point, because we're extraordinarily proud. We're proud that it takes all of us to do such an amazing job. But everybody recognizes when you need care, CIS, Terrebonne General is the place to be. And so whether it takes a phone call or a motivation or a TV or all of you in the room, it takes all of us to make this happen. And we're extraordinarily proud. As I was mentioning to our wonderful presenter, is that, you know, our culture is one of family. Our culture is one of Cajun culture, faith, family, fun. food. And food helps us need that CIS in a hospital because we're so good at it. But thank you for all that you do. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for the award. I know you're thanking us. If you need to have a heart attack, do it here. We'll be able to do it. And thank you to the team that it takes to make us amazing. So again, I'll turn it back over. We'll do a couple of photos. Please help yourself to some refreshments. And thank you all for being the amazing people that we are and the wonderful team. Appreciate it.
Every year we look at 3 consecutive years of data. So this is not just a one-year celebration, it is over multiple years. The Coronary Intervention Excellence Award, they've achieved for 2 years in a row, so that's looking at over 6 years of data. America's Best, this is the first time they achieved this recognition, and that's looking at years 2022 through 2024. And the data that we're looking at is CMS data, so Medicare patients over that 3-year time period, solely looking at their complication and mortality rates, which is really what matters most to patients, is that we're looking at clinical outcomes. Will they have a negative outcome, and will they come out of the hospital safely?
This is an amazing award. It makes sure that we are top, not only in our area or region and the nation. We are being compared with a lot of different facilities throughout our nation, and we rank top 100. How amazing is that? And I think that's just a testament to what our commitment is to our community, what our commitment is to work as CIS as a partner. As Dr. Walker said previously, 43 years is a very long time, and look how much has been achieved in such, I want to say a short period of time, because we're all going to live forever with CIS here. But we're extraordinarily proud, not only of our staff, our physicians, our partnership. It can't be done in a silo. And this just goes to show everybody how amazing a wonderful, productive partnership could be a benefit to everybody involved.
This speaks for itself. Out of the thousands of hospitals throughout the United States, only 100 labs received this award. Only 100, and this is the only one in the state of Louisiana. That is, I think, a very important statement. What does it mean? For me, it means accreditation of my lifelong dream of establishing first-rate cardiovascular care. Now, this specifically is around heart interventions, coronary interventions. It's not yet around pulmonary interventions for people having pulmonary emboli, or leg interventions for people who are in jeopardy of losing their legs or their life, even with other problems. But I think it speaks about the dream that we had as we started Cardiovascular Institute of the South and partnered with Terrebonne General to get equipment and the staff that we needed to do this life-saving work. I think it's vindication that all that work was worth it, because we've achieved, and we're not going to stop here. Just like Michael Jordan was the best basketball player of all times, not because he made goals, but because he set goals. Every year, the guy who was the best player in the year should have probably won Most Improved Player the next year, because he wasn't satisfied being the best. He wanted to be the best he could be. And that's what we do at CIS. We want to be the best we can be, and we're going to keep striving for that.
This segment was brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available.